guys, so it's Show and Tell Tuesday again. I've got two things this week. One I've made and the other is a book that I recently got off Kickstarter. So here we go, I'll show you what I made. This is something I made several years ago for my husband's birthday. So you can see here obviously what it is. Yeah, Super Mario, yeah, brick. So what it is it's Emma beads or perler beads that I've fused together, and you can see here, right there, you see that? That's how they interlock to each other. So they're just off, and then you push them together and they stay shut. And then I've got the top here which comes off and it just sits on top, and it's got the little coin slot here because it's meant to be like a bank. See, there's a little indentation ridge there so that when you put it on it doesn't move. And then I made these guys that go right into the hole. And sit there like that. And so I've got the fire flower, pull out. They get really tight in there. And then the one up mushroom. There you go. So I was pretty proud on how it came out. It took a long time, a lot of planning. It's the first box I'd ever made out of perler beads. So I did a lot of research online about how to go about doing that. Because I didn't want to just to glue the sides, because like literally you could pull this thing all apart and it would just be the sides and it could flat pack, you know. Took a lot of beads. I don't know what I would charge if I were to make this for someone who was buying it. I'm not even sure exactly how much it cost on beads alone, let alone the time it took to do it. I wasn't using a plan, so I made up the design looking at pictures and counting, you know, what I had for a size of a square and all that stuff. So I could back count and figure out what I had done on this one pretty easily, but it would still be probably a little more expensive than people would want to buy, honestly. Just thinking of the time that went into it and the amount of beads. But I don't know, if you're interested, you really want one, contact me. I might do the math for you because I enjoy making things and selling them. And the other thing is a book that I recently got on Kickstarter. I say recently because I recently got it, but it honestly took way too long to get. You might have seen it. It's the Masters of Anatomy book. I just left my review, which wasn't stellar because a lot of things went wrong, let alone that it came a lot later than they ever promised. But mostly the issues was that they had us pay for tracking and didn't do tracking. And if you ever have talked to me, I do not trust the French mail system. I've had too many packages go missing, never show up, never any word. They won't do anything to help us find it. It's just gone. I've lost so much stuff. I don't even have family or friends send me things here because I just don't trust it. So yeah, so this is the book. Basically it says book 1, the ideal male and female body, which I think is a bit of a shame that they put ideal. You know, it just, a lot of the bodies are so much alike. Like, you know, some are anime bodies, some are very, you know, comic book. You can see here going through. But very few actually have different body types. There are some that really nail it. You know, like they're just going outside the box and that's amazing and that's great. I love it. But for a huge portion of them, they just look like copies of each other. And I think that's so sad. Not to put anything against the artists. I mean, they were told ideal male or female. You know, these are the best bodies that they see, that they make for comics, that they make for projects, you know? So I don't blame the artists, honestly. I blame the production for having already implanted in their minds the word ideal. You know, if they hadn't said ideal, I think that the book would have been much more diverse and more interesting, because the whole point of the book was for people who are, see, it says here, animators, illustrators, cartoonists, game designers, and comic book artists would get something out of this book. And I'm just thinking, you know, that's a huge range, and people need to see other body types to make things interesting. If everybody looked the same and everything, ugh, so boring. Even in real life, that would be boring. But yeah, it came, I paid. I'd be leery of buying a book again, honestly. And I don't know if I'd ever do one from them again called Masters of Anatomy. So this show and tell is not exactly a huge roaring A+ for this book. But if you got it, I would love to hear what your thoughts are. What you thought of the duplicate pages for a couple artists, the no page numbers, the no writing or paragraph from any of the artists. It literally is just, you know, 3 poses, male, female, and their name. That's it. That's it. I'd be interested to know what the artist thought too. If you were an artist in this and you've gotten your book, I would love to hear what you thought and how you felt about the project when you were working on it. But yeah, it's done, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. It's done. I think it's overpriced, but I know I'm not expecting any money back. And as for the tracking issue, I feel like I am owed money back because there was no tracking, and they promised tracking at the offer that they said. So I overpaid. And I didn't get a choice to tell them that, you know, for sure give me the tracking at the price you promised. They just did everybody else who did internationally without tracking. Bad move. But I think if they were to make this book as an ebook available to all pledges who received a book, I could be okay with it. You know, I would feel less cheated, at least. If I could have it on my tablet to look at and reference when I'm sketching wherever I'm at and not have this weirdly sized book, it would be a lot better. Honestly, if there had been an option to just get an ebook of it, I would have totally just gone for that, honestly. But, you know, this is where we're at. And those are my 2 things for this week's Show and Tell Tuesday. If you have any questions about these things, or like I said, if you were an artist in it or also were a backer, I'd love to hear what you thought. If you agree or disagree, that's fine. That's just how I feel about the project. And if you want to follow me on anything, any of the socials, the links are in the description. If you want to become one of my patrons on Patreon, I do weekly sketches. You can win those sketches depending on the different tiers you're on. Even for $1 a month, you get a lot for the rewards. I really appreciate every patron I have. And I will see you next Tuesday, and bye.